What's good, everyone? It's your boy Nazi with another video for the channel. Welcome back to DMVSportsZone on this eventful day in DC sports. I'm here with the Command This podcast, the fellas from the Command This podcast. First time ever on the channel. How are you guys all doing today? And can you also introduce yourselves for those of you who might not know who the Command This podcast is? And we'll start with Steve.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Steve from Command This. Happy to be here. Nazi, thanks for having us, man. Appreciate you.
No problem.
Kick it over.
Oh, guess I'll go next then. I'm Phil. I am the resident contrarian, loudmouth, and always glad to chop it up with anyone in the Commanders universe, but especially this podcast. This is one of the ones I actually subscribe to.
Appreciate that.
Whoop, whoop.
And I'm Dev, the problem child, I guess, out of everyone. Usually not that active on Facebook because I'm always banned. But that's me. Okay. Hello, I'm Dev on Twitter. Hit us up. Command This podcast Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yes, sir. Great podcast, great fellas. And with that out of the way, let's get into the first bit of news that broke earlier today that basically caused a firestorm in the DC sports community, and that is the Juan Soto trade to the San Diego Padres. For those of you who didn't already see it, please go make sure to check out my video that I posted earlier today. I'm pissed, but I want to hear your guys' thoughts on the whole situation. And this time we'll start with Dev. Like, what do you think about the Juan Soto trade? Do you think the Nationals are better today than they were yesterday? And better set up for success?
Well, just to let you guys know, I am a Yankees fan. So,
yes, sir.
But I was hoping we would get Juan Soto. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I was crossing my fingers. But yeah, it's what I don't understand about it. Juan Soto's what, 23 years old or something like that?
Yeah.
And it's only gonna cost you $2 million to finish out the year with him. I felt like he was the wrong guy to let go for what they get 6 years. Insane to me. I don't know. I don't have this kind of problem with the baseball teams that I like, but I do understand because I like the football team in this area. Why don't guys like staying there, man? You had a Harper, you had Scherzer, you had this guy all on the same team.
That's right. Because the Yankees pay the luxury tax and the Nationals don't. Every
year. You got to pay to play, bro.
I agree.
I think we all agree.
I thought DC was on the cusp of becoming a big market team, especially in baseball after the chip in 19.
And they got a chip after they got rid of Harper. Didn't they get one?
Correct.
Yeah, that's insane, man.
And they gave Harper a doo-doo deal when they deferred money like 80 years down the road. They didn't do that with Soto. It was $441. I mean, over 15. It wasn't as high as Mike Trout's AAV, but if they had backed it up from 15 years to 12 years, boom, problem solved. It would have been over. But hey, that's how what's his face? The manager.
Mike Rizzo.
Not Rizzo, but the agent.
Scott Boras.
Boras doesn't.
Whoa, he's a pain in our side.
Business.
Yeah.
And you can't deal with any big money ball player without dealing with Boras either. It's not like you can go, all right, we're just not going to deal with this agent's players. No, you're going to have to deal with him no matter what.
And I'm sad. I mean, we got really good prospects. I think we got 4 prospects that are in the top 30 MLB. So we're like to answer your question.
Where do y'all go from here, though?
That's what I'm saying. Every year they keep pushing to the right to rebuild. We didn't keep Rendon after the chip. We Bryce Harper was gone. We let Trey Turner go. Okay, we get prospects. Josiah Gray, great. Scherzer's going. Okay, what's next? Now it's Josh Bell and Soto are gone. So you're just pushing the rebuild to the right again. How many more times are you going to keep doing this? I don't know. I really hope it works out.
You know what? Strasburg stays. He remains.
That dude has played 7 games since the World Series of 2019. 7 games.
Since he got that MVP.
Like Reed Doherty. Find a way to make
Reed Doherty wishes he got Steven Strasburg money, though.
Right.
That's facts. I will say this though on Steve's point about how much longer are we going to be doing this. I tweeted this out earlier today, and I think this is an under discussed point when it comes to this Juan Soto situation. I think this is definitely setting a dangerous precedent for this team in terms of being able to retain future players and also being able to welcome new players into this organization. I think, if you don't resign, this is something that we all kind of said with the Terry McLaurin situation, right? If you don't resign a Terry McLaurin, what other player will you resign? How good of a player does he have to be in order for you to resign him? It sets a bad precedent for future players.
It's worse than Terry McLaurin. This guy's the best. He's the best. It's like trading.
You go down as one of the best.
Right. It's not. It doesn't make any sense. And he's 23. He would have been still the best player for 10 more years, man. Give him what he wants. Give him 15. If you wanted 15, give it to him. It doesn't make sense, man. It doesn't. I say the same thing with Utah. I'm a Louisville guy too, so I love Donovan Mitchell. Mitchell. But I'm and I'm a Knicks fan, so I really love Donovan Mitchell. But I'm why, if you're Utah, would you say you want to start all over but trade a 23, 24, 25-year-old superstar for some draft picks that ain't gonna be better than him? It makes
even Donovan Mitchell is not on the same caliber as Juan Soto.
Right, not even close. Donovan Mitchell's Doncic. Soto's like Doncic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No way, Mavs get rid of Doncic. It doesn't make sense.
Nope.
The Nationals got rid of Doncic, basically, man. That's what happened.
What this is,
insane. Won't get rid of Bill, though.
Let's be honest. What it is that the Learners are selling a team. They're trying to get the payroll low, which it's down to $83 million. We're not at that $200 million we were at when we won the World Series.
Who wants to buy the team?
But how is this making? Yeah, how is this making the team more attractive?
Let me explain. Because whoever buys the team doesn't have to pay all these heavy salaries up front, right?
I think that the owners would rather have Soto though than worry about, right?
You would think, but let's be real. Have you been to Nats Park this season? How many tickets is Juan Soto actually selling?
Not many.
Exactly.
I bet he sells more than not having Juan Soto sales.
The return on investment isn't really there. Plus, this is a team that was playing this half and half game. I think Rizzo said, hell with it. If you want to sell this team and you don't want to pay the man, let's trade him and let's just actually commit to a rebuild. You go sell this team while the value's low, and then we'll build it back up with people who will spend the money.
That's what I hope for.
And the crazy thing is the Learners have the money to spend.
Yeah.
It's not like Dan Snyder, who, A, has to deal with the salary cap, and B, he's got so much money tied up in the franchise itself. All right. The Learners have liquid cash.
But we are 19th in salary cap with 70. You said 80. It was 73 before in the MLB to spare. Poor Orioles are 165. They're 30th. But the top 6 teams who paid into the luxury tax this year, the Mets, the Dodgers, the Yankees, the Phillies, the Red Sox, and the Padres, and they're all in the playoff contention. They all busted the cap.
Take a cue from the Yankees, man. They got a dude break 63 home run record and they won 70 games already. But y'all want to get rid of
choke in the playoffs.
Harper and the rest of the guys. You want to get rid of some guys. They could have been the Yankees, man. There's no reason why the Nats aren't the Yankees are now. There's no reason. They were better than 3 years ago.
Honestly, Dev, you could have said the Wizards. They're interchangeable at this point.
Yeah.
Let's be real. Wizards is a terrible name. I understand Nationals, but Wizards are terrible.
The Nats gave us something we haven't had in a while. All right. The Nats and the Caps have given us something we haven't had in a while. All right. The Nats gave us a decade where they were consistent. They won multiple division titles.
Yep.
Consistent winning and a World Series title. Okay. Should have more if you throw out some of the more questionable managerial decisions made in the playoffs in previous years. But if you're going to rebuild, commit to the rebuild. Our farm system is trash. All right. They have nobody. Some of their they have an obsession with drafting pitchers. All right. And I get it because that decade was dominated by good pitching, but you still need to hit the damn ball. All right. So hopefully these prospects we got coming back, I've heard they're good prospects. Let's see how good they are. I hope the Learners get this sale done to somebody who, will find a better balance. I can't believe I'm going out of focus here. I'm so frustrated with these owners. But let's hope that the learners find someone who's going to be a little more balanced moving forward in good building a team and spending money to build a team without being stupid and spending money just to spend money, because we've seen that fail too. But you got to find that balance. And right now the learners had that balance. They got their World Series, and I think they went, well, we made our money. Let's get out.
Yeah,
sell it.
My thought process around this whole situation is, man, so we're really trading away Juan Soto to get back prospects that will probably just trade away down the line for future prospects. I mean, that's been the history of like the last decade, really. And I know there could be a potential ownership change that throws a wrench into things, and we might be able to actually pay our players and stuff. But honestly, recent history has not shown that. And I mean, do you guys think we'll be able to pay a Mackenzie Gore, a Robert Hassel, a CJ Abrams, a James Wood, a Harleen Susana?
I mean, if statistical analysis and pattern analysis and trend analysis, if we look at years past, the answer is no. Right? We'll ship them off. And to come to find out, one of the dudes we traded in the Soto trade, Eric Hosmer, declined his trade clause. So he's not even in the deal anymore. So now it's one less player.
No.
You're right. If you're saying we're not going to be able to play him, we're not going to be able to pay him like we haven't been able to play. If any of these guys pan out to be superstars, I guess we're not going to pay them.
You see, you're using the wrong terminology here. It's not that we can't pay them.
Choose not to.
We don't pay them. That's the big difference. It's not, like I said, there's no salary cap in baseball. You can spend all the money you have. And they don't. Now, I get it. The learners did not get to be super, super rich by being stupid with money. All right? But there comes a point where you have to spend the money to make the money. And the fact that they're not spending the money like they used to, they're not now, which tells me they're out. Now, I hope whoever buys this team, because we all know they're trying to sell the franchises. This is one of the most, worst kept secrets in sports. I hope that whoever buys the team keeps Rizzo on, because Rizzo was the architect of these teams. Rizzo wants to spend the money. He just has owners who won't open up the pocketbook for their own reasons. So I like Rizzo. I think he is an extremely smart GM. When he is allowed to spend money, he structures really good deals. And I would hate to see him go, because I think he could continue to do great things here. He gets how to do modern baseball.
That's fair. Any last points on the Nats before we move on?
There's always next year.
I'll see y'all in 2025.
Man, I mean, just think, this is what in baseball. It's not like basketball where you don't want to hang on to your old guys. Basketball, you can play to 100, man. I mean, like I said, look across just up north at the Yanks, man. Judge is on the last year of his contract. He's basically told everybody he's going to San Francisco Giants after the season. Like, it's probably going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Basically, it's going to happen. They ain't still trading. They still didn't trade him. They was like, no, we don't care. We still got to win. We'll deal with that.
They're like, we're the Yankees. We can buy anybody.
Man,
only final thoughts I have is I am not mad at Soto. God bless you, buddy. I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy for you. And same with Josh Bell. I mean, I'll never be mad at any athlete trying to get what they're worth. Not mad at them at all. It's a business. It just sucks that we're on the losing end. Hey, maybe in 2.5 years we can get him back. Who knows?
You know that technically, we can get Bell back, or not Bell, but we can get Soto back.
Yeah.
2 years, 2 years in the rest of the season. Yeah. Do you know that if they paid Soto, if the Padres pay Soto, they will have $1 billion tied up in 3 players.
Yeah,
three players.
They can't do that. 3 players. Machado,
Tatis, and
Fernando
Tatis. It's
Soto
not like
opt out too, right?
We forget how big San Diego is as a
one
city.
Professional sports team.
They're not that. It's not the Yankees. The Yankees have a national reach. The Padres barely have Southern California. All right.
I just found out that Padres wasn't even sure for come Padres. It's like a priest or something.
Yeah.
Didn't know that. I thought it was like
the
what's up,
fathers.
Padre? You know, yeah. The dad,
Yeah.
the daddy.
See,
The
that's what
daddy.
happens. You know how they got that name? They got that name from one of those name your team contests that they had with the fan base. See, this is why the Commanders were not stupid enough to pull that stunt.
I mean, it's a
they
preacher.
solicited ideas, but in the end, they made the decision, and that was a hell of a lot smart. At least we're not the Padres.
I mean, yeah, you don't want to be a minister. Who want that job?
Although there were angels, there
Right.
That's true.
Angels, yeah. There's devils too.
Yeah.
Devil praise.
Yes, sir. All right. So with that out of the way, the biggest piece of news from today, I do want to get into some training camp talk. First and foremost, though, let's talk about something that, speaking of being a pain in the side in terms of Scott Boras with the Nationals, pain in our side as Commanders fans is the injuries that have plagued some of our players at the start of training camp. Curtis Samuel, I mean, at this point, you gotta name the side field after him, right? After the last year. Chase Young, Logan Thomas, these two players. Chase Young, we know for sure is going to be out week 1, but Logan Thomas might be out to start the season. Who knows there? What are your thoughts on those injury situations that are right now for the Commanders, and also whether, especially the Curtis Samuel situation, do you think that we should be really concerned given the last year plus, or do you think this is less so the groin injury that he sustained last season and just a little bit more of the wear and tear to start the offseason? And we'll start with Phil this time.
Okay. Well, we knew Chase Young was probably going to miss some time to begin the season, because he didn't have just a regular ACL tear. He had there was a lot more serious than your average ACL tear. So I'm glad we're not trying to all in for week 1 this kid. At the same time, we kind of expected the same thing from Logan Thomas too, that he might miss the beginning of the season. And this is all stuff that we knew. We knew this in February that this was going to be the issue. Curtis Samuel, at this point, Jahan Dotson being drafted looks so much smarter. And people thought that he might be the guy that was being brought in to replace Terry. And I think he might. Yeah, Steve thought that. Which I thought that was a contingency plan. If we can't re-sign Terry, at least we got Jahan Dotson. But I think Jahan Dotson's also going to be the solid number 2 that they thought that Curtis Samuel was going to be last year. Curtis Samuel is a luxury at this point. If he plays and contributes, that's a bonus. But I'm not counting on it until it happens. Now, I'm hearing that they're kind of soft pedaling it, like they're just trying to bring him back in slowly because he wasn't able to get, because he was recovering from his injury over the offseason, he didn't get his conditioning up, right? Curtis Samuel needs to be conditioned, all right? His game is predicated on speed and agility, all right? If you want to slow roll him back to that status, and then by week 4 or 5, he's contributing, cool, because that's when the season really seems to start for us. I think we can do pretty well without Curtis Samuel for the first couple of weeks of the season. Look at the schedule. And in fact, that schedule gives us a little bit of time for those guys who are going to miss the first couple games. It gives us an opportunity to play well without them and then bring them in and just make the team better.
Until we lose.
We ain't losing to no damn Jaguars. We are not losing to the Lions.
I mean, Wentz said
you sure about that, Lions?
Wentz said that last year. Jaguars while Wentz is in Washington, bro. Y'all realize that, right?
Okay.
Yeah, he folded. Folded in week 17.
The entire Colts team folded.
You and I know that.
Didn't we lose to the Lions 2
years
ago?
We lost the Lions a couple of years ago.
We lost to the Giants too. They get in the playoffs that
Yes,
game.
yeah.
They had Matt Stafford and we had no leg, no arm Alex Smith.
Man, they had Matt Stafford all year and couldn't win 5 games, but they beat us. You see
Matt
what I'm
Stafford
saying?
can lift the team. We're not even going to get into this argument today. We're not doing this argument today.
Oh, the Matt Stafford argument?
That's day 1. Matt Stafford.
It's always.
Are you a Matt Stafford believer, Phil?
I said that Matt Stafford is going into 2022. I put him as my number 4 quarterback in the league.
Let's go. See, same wavelength. Same wavelength.
Did not have Lamar Jackson on that list, by the way.
Okay, that's a little.
But if you saw the rest of the list, you'd understand why. I said Lamar Jackson was probably number 6, but we're doing a top 5, so I can't put him on there. All right. Plus I got to see how he comes off injury too. If he plays well off injury, he moves up that list. But anyway, it's Curtis Samuel's a luxury. Everybody else, we knew they were going to probably miss the preseason, miss the first couple games.
$13 million luxury? Are we going to talk about that contract? He's getting paid $13 million this year.
Look, we blew $10 million on Fitzpatrick and got 6 passes out of him before he broke his hip. By the way, I'm not one of those who says that was the greatest move in the history of sports. He got paid $10 million to throw 6 passes. Well, it wasn't his fault.
Man, this dude might be Paul Richardson, bro.
That's what I was gonna say. One more.
I say
expected to be our number 2.
I pick him to be our breakout guy.
Could be number 4 by the time he gets on the field.
Man, look, I like Samuels. I think there's no one on the team that with the ball in their hands is better. I think no one on the team is better with the ball in their hands than Curtis, man. I'm going to keep it real. In their hands. Who's better in open field? Who you want to see running that ball with the ball in their hands than that
Give me JD over Curtis.
Man, you crazy.
JD
gets caught from behind, and every pass he catches, he falls to the ground to catch it. Every time.
He's also
if he starts using that post move he's got.
He do got a nice little move, man. But yeah, he gets hurt too. You act like he's hurt. But the thing about Samuel is that you hate is that soft tissue injuries are the worst, man. Especially when you're coming off of not playing. Like we see the same thing that it happened to Julio Jones, man. It started off a hamstring, then it's a quad. Then it's a groin. And it seems like those things never go away for guys when they're approaching 30. So I hope he's okay, especially a guy who has made his bones, being a quick shifty guy out the backfield and in a slot. You're gonna need hamstrings and quads for that, buddy.
And he's only 25, okay. 26.
Right.
I can't quite argue
the water, bro.
Argument with the fact that the older you get, the harder it is to recover from it.
Man.
I'm 39 and I lift weights. You want to tell me something? Soft tissue injuries do not heal quickly. Now, granted, I don't ever take it easy either, but that's because I'm stupid and I don't have trainers who can help me recover faster. All right?
It's hard to get up in the morning and stretch when you're having growing surgeries that nobody knows about on the low, and then for a whole year you can't run, stretch. You lose that.
Which is why
when you're 25 to 30, man, it ain't 19 no more. I'm 44, man, and it's different than 40. And so, you pull a hamstring,
44, and he sat on this podcast and said that he could run a 4.640 in a month.
I could do it, man. I could do it. Hey, I tell you what, I got one of those, little things outside that the police put on your streets if you're speeding.
Yeah.
I got one of them out here. I'm going to hit that thing tomorrow, and I'm going to video it.
And it's going on YouTube. That's content.
Yes, sir.
Please send it to me when it says 12.
I'm gonna wear my McLaurin shirt too when I'm out there. I'm gonna wear RG3. That's how fast I'm running.
Wear your Curtis shirt and then you can come up limp afterwards. After you pull your hamstring.
I don't have a Curtis shirt, man. You gotta have 2 hamstrings in order for me to buy your jersey. You know what I'm saying? Curtis is my guy though, man. I picked him before the season started to be the guy that gives us my little X Factor guy. That's the guy I picked to be the X Factor this year is Curtis. I mean, the way I was listening to the coach talk about it is that it felt like he's not really hurt. It's just that he's out of condition and they don't want to. He's tightened up and they don't want to risk any other injuries because he hasn't been pushing himself to 100% in the year. That's why I took it. I mean,
does anyone else, when you hear conditioning issues, just immediately have flashbacks to Ainsworth?
Yeah.
Oh God! And Lindsey Zarniak running that damn drill faster than he can.
I mean, maybe he's Deshaun Watson. He was the same way. He never practiced. Showed up though. By every other game, he had a big play. So maybe we get
also
a Deshaun
in
Jackson
conditioned shape.
Like my guy Tony. Hey, what's up, Wild? What's Jamal and Tony from ProTech? Hey,
yes, sir.
I don't think they'll cut. Even if he's hurt this year, he ain't getting cut. $12.4 million cap hit. He is not getting cut in 2022. He is on the team no matter what.
And as we've seen, he ain't even going on the IR, which I couldn't figure that out for anything. Like, how's this dude not on IR and never plays in the games every day.
Even if they
plan on
cut
him being there week 1,
if they cut him in the offseason next year, it's $7.2 million. That's a little more reasonable. But if they cut him after June 1st of next year, 2.4. There's your target. Keep him till after June 1st, and then peace.
Give his agent an award.
Yeah, smart business decision on that one.
Jeez,
Yeah.
Man.
And I feel like us fans could have seen this coming even before all these injuries racked up, because he ended up actually in his time in Carolina, right? He ended up having his best season without Scott Turner and Ron Rivera, or at least when they were no longer in Carolina, right? So, and when they were there in Carolina, he was, not a $13 million type of player. So I guess we could have even seen that coming, right? Him not panning out in DC or reaching the heights that he did right before getting that contract just because of the coaching staff. But then when you add in the injuries, it's like it's a bust of a contract at this point, unless he ends up putting it all out on the field this season.
The talent's there. It's no question.
Yeah.
No question at all.
It's really just a matter of if apparently he's healthy, he's just not in shape. Cool. I can understand that. I can understand if he just needs to get into game shape, game speed, and all that, and get his conditioning up. Cool. That I understand. You don't want to put him out there because if you're not conditioned, you're making those cuts and everything, you're more likely to get hurt again. So I understand that. Make sure he's 100%. Make sure he's up to game speed, and then put him out there. It's not like he hadn't had 2 off seasons and an entire season before that to learn the playbook. He knows the plays. He knows what he needs to do. He just needs to be healthy and conditioned enough to do it.
I think it's going to be cool.
Or you know what? Put him on a snap count. Just keep him in there. Just put him on a snap count.
Maybe he third receiver. You're on a snap count. It's called
20,
third receiver.
20, 30 snaps a game, tops. 20 snaps.
He might not have 20 snaps all season last year.
It's okay. Yeah, that's Curtis Samuel for you. But we have 2 young receivers that I want to talk to you guys about that are, putting on a little bit of a show out there in training camp. Jahan Dotson, Dyami Brown. He's had some drops, but he did moss somebody today at camp. So what are your guys' thoughts on Jahan Dotson and Dyami Brown, and whether, they could be that wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 alongside Terry? And we'll start with Steve on this one.
Yeah, like Phil said, I honestly thought Jahan Dotson was the Terry McLaurin replacement / insurance, because I didn't think they were going to sign Terry. I just didn't think it was going to happen. So love that he's performing. Love the kid. I totally slipped on him in the draft. Wasn't even thinking about him. So Jahan I saw him during minicamp. When we were out there at Ashburn, he looked sick. Dyami, great I think he's he's the downfield guy. He's going to open up the field. So let her rip, tater chip, let him go. We finally have a quarterback that can finally open up the field, not these lollipop passes we saw from Taylor over last year. Shout out to Taylor, no fault to him, but Carson can throw the ball downfield. I know that's not what he's known for, but he's got the arm to do it. So I love Dyami. And if, let's say, in some crazy scenario where Sam Howell's the quarterback of the future, even better for Dyami Brown. So I hate to say it, but all these receivers are, under 6 feet. That's okay. There are little guys. So it's cool, but I'm happy that they're on our team. I have nothing but high expectations for Dyami and Jahan. And like I said, I think, Terry's number 1. I thought Jahan was 2 alpha. Curtis could be 2 bravo, and Dyami's number 3 for sure. You put them all on the field. That's a great recipe for who you gonna cover. Then you put JD out in the slot, man.
I think Sims is 3 or 4 rather.
Samuel.
Yeah.
No,
he said Samuel.
Sims.
He thinks Cam Sims
like
is going to be.
Happen. And we got to play him before week 8, like we do every year. You know what I'm saying? But they signed him. They re-signed the dude for a reason, man.
Wasn't that like a? Okay, I thought it wasn't that much on the cap though. I feel like he's more of a depth piece.
I mean, isn't Dyami Brown a depth piece?
Oh, he's
must be more.
Cam Sims is on a 1-year
before the basic as of right now
$2.5 million deal.
As of right now,
I say this, but
I bet he makes more. How much Dyami Brown make? But as
Kelvin
of right
Harmon
now,
keeps coming up in every camp conversation too.
Roger's a big fan.
I am too.
Sims also,
I'm a big mark for Kelvin Harmon.
Sims also guns punch, bro.
He's a teamer. He's a teamer, and that is
Right.
worth something. So he's your
It
number
is.
5. Sims is your number 5.
I think he's
on the
4,
roster.
man. I don't know. Like, if Curtis is healthy, I'm going by if Curtis is healthy, right? So you obviously got the 3: Dotson, McLaurin, Curtis, right?
Mm-hmm.
After that, they kind of all have their own, like, Sims can play slot, but I guess he's an outside receiver this year. Then who's the backup slot's probably Milne, man. You forgetting that guy?
Girl. Steal your roommate's girl.
Yeah, he had as many catches and yards as Brown last year in less games. I'm just saying, man, like somewhere down the line, productivity has to matter, man. What has he done for everybody to love this dude? What's he done?
Is a 6'5" wide receiver in Cam Sims the best place for a slot receiver?
Yeah, he doesn't have to play slot. He doesn't
I'm
have
just
to play
saying.
slot, though.
Well,
But
Steve, I mean, to counter that though, is a 6'3", 6'4" cornerback the best type of cornerback you're supposed to put in the slot on defense, or
You mean
is
as
it
in Kendall Fuller?
No. I meant to say Juice.
Or Will Jackson? Or say Juice. Yeah.
Juice got abused, man. He got beat like. Never mind. He got beat up pretty bad, man.
I don't even know what he was going to say, but I knew it was going to be something flagrant.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say anything about OJ's wife. But definitely got beat up pretty bad out there. So,
yeah.
If you haven't subscribed to us yet,
make sure to do so.
This is the content you
it's not
get.
Guilty, man. Y'all hating.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess like when I asked the question about Jahan Dotson, Yami Brown, I guess I thought more of the discussion would go towards Jahan Dotson, right? Because of the fact that yes, he was the first round pick, 16th overall. But I mean, we gotta remember right before Kip, there were some people talking reckless, thinking this guy was already better than Terry, or he had better skills than Terry at this point. So I mean, I think at least we'll be good with Terry and Dotson on the other side or the slot or wherever he matches up.
I mean, he should have better. He should have better skills. He's a first round pick. McLaurin was a third round pick for a reason.
Yeah, I think
for a reason.
People, because how do I say this? Penn State had such a piss poor quarterback, right?
Trace.
No, Trace is gone. It was Clifford.
I hate Rick Sarley, man.
Trace was miles better than Clifford. All right, and Dotson made him look good, and I'm talking about he made chicken salad out of chicken excrement. So
he didn't make excrement out of Heineke, though.
We've seen that there and their system isn't as predicated on the past as like McLaurin had at Ohio State. See, ProTech gets it. But Jahan Dotson, I think in terms of raw talent, maybe better than Terry. Now, Terry has the most impeccable work ethic. All right. When it comes to your 100% and someone else's 100%, they're 100% maybe higher, but they're not achieving that. Terry achieves that, and that puts him ahead of so many others who just don't put in that same work ethic and hit the technical proficiency. But Dotson has that. He has a technical proficiency, and he has the same knack for just finding a way to make the catch. I mean, I heard a comparison of Dotson to Santana Moss in terms of Moss for 5'11" could go up and get, he can high point balls on corners. And Dotson has the same talent, but I think we almost because Dotson is so naturally good and was a first round pick, we expect him to perform well. So because we have that expectation, we're not even going to question it. We expect 60 catches, 1,000 yards minimum. That's the expectation if he plays 17 games. Steve, you're muted.
Sorry, I'm also hearing the comp. You said Santana just because he's in a burgundy and gold, but another good comp. It's starting to slowly surface is Steve Smith. Also 5'11", 189. I think Jahan's like 5'11", 185. So it's there. I just hope he plays as nasty as Santana and Steve Smith. That would just be phenomenal. And how do you guard that? People are already going to be keen on Terry. We know that. So all that's going to, and I'm not even going to jump ahead, but we ain't even talking about what Cole Turner's going to be. So
we'll get to that right after this.
Even if he has Santana mouse spin move, that's all he needs right there. Shoot,
lethal.
Best spin move in the history of the league. I've never seen.
Amen to that.
Yeah, I think again the duo Terry and Dotson will be really good for us. Speaking of duos, let's talk about our tight ends. Steve hinted at Cole Turner. I was just about to ask, what are you guys' thoughts on what Cole Turner and Curtis Hodges, who's seemingly come out of nowhere, has done during training camp thus far? And do you think Cole Turner specifically could be that tight end one, especially at the start of the regular season with Logan Thomas potentially being out? And we'll start with Dev on this one.
Yeah, I'm interested to know where's Bates at, by the way. Anybody heard anything from Bates, man?
Bates is actually listed on the roster as tight end one.
Right, I assumed that, but didn't he have a hamstring or something also? Is that why he's been?
I don't know if it was today's practice or the practices from days before, but I know he was out.
Yeah, I went work listening to the practices and stuff, man, so I kind of miss a lot of stuff. But I thought I'm more interested in seeing what the guys we necessarily are banking that we can count on this year, more than the guys that we hope we can get something from. So I'm definitely wanting to see what Bates has to do, but I'm excited about Cole. If you're just comparing those two guys, yeah. And Hodges, man, was he 6'8", 6'9"? Man,
big dude.
Man,
yeah, some big dudes at tight end.
Give
it's
him Sadiq Charles' number, man. They can do that out here.
And on the Bates point too, so Curtis Samuel, John Bates, Troy Apke, cornerback DeJon Neal, and the three guys are on the pup list to start practice. Wow, this tweet is worded really weird from Sam Fortier. So they were on the side field today, so that explains why we probably didn't see too much.
So wait. Did you just say Apke was on the pup for today's practice?
That's what this tweet is saying.
Who wrote the tweet? Floyd Mayweather? Who wrote that? Floyd Mayweather?
I don't know. Sam Fortier, Commanders beat reporter for Washington Post. Curtis Samuel, John Bates, defensive back Troy Apke, DeJon Neal. And let me read it to you. Curtis Samuel, John Bates, Troy Apke, DeJon Neal, and the three guys on pup start practice on the side field. Oh, maybe
you mean the official Curtis S. Samuel side field? Is that what we're calling it?
Curtis S. Samuel.
Statue.
Yeah.
What's the S stand for?
I just made it up. I have no idea.
Some bitch.
Yeah.
Curtis sometimes Samuel.
sometimes.
Curtis sprains some shit or stuff. Samuel.
No, personally, if Cole Turner can block, I'm excited. The guys will tell you, I'm the offensive line. I'm the line guy, period, in this podcast. I played line. I watched the line when I watched these games a lot. That's why I was big on Cosme coming out of college. I was like, y'all don't realize this kid's good. Kid's super athletic, and he's turning out to be that guy. But anyway, getting back to tight ends, I want tight ends who can block. That's why I always like Cooley. Cooley could block, and Cooley could catch the ball. Was really good with getting the ball after the catch. So I am curious to see if Cole Turner can really kind of pick up his blocking skills, because I heard that was kind of the weaker part of his game. I won't say weak, just weaker. The weaker part of his game was that his blocking was average at best. If we can get average, that's fine, because I think we're going to have a lot of smoke and mirrors when it comes to this offense anyway. But I do want to see if he can turn out to be a good all-around tight end. I like Bates because Bates has sure hands and can block, but he's not really athletic. Cole Turner is athletic, and he has a natural nose for the ball. So I'm kind of excited to see what he can do, especially because of the fact that We know Carson Wentz loves his tight end. That's his boy. Ask Zach Ertz.
Yep.
So.
Dallas Goddard. I mean,
Ali
go on and on. Well, exactly.
Yeah. But so tight end is my favorite position on the team. I mean, I'm a quarterback. I play quarterback growing up, but I love the tight end on this team. My favorite player is Logan Thomas. It's just so exciting to see. I didn't realize how big of a person Cole Turner was till we saw him firsthand. The dude is a monster, and that shaggy hair, bro. Like, I cannot wait for him to blow up. And like Phil says, Bates is a sure hand. He's a blocker. He'll catch everything, but he's not that dynamic. But he's exactly what you want from a tight end, right? Exactly. And if Hodges comes out and he exceeds expectations, if Logan comes back, I mean, there's nothing better to me than a dual tight end threat because I think it's unstoppable. We saw it. It's very rare you see it, but you saw it with, Hernandez and Gronk. You've seen it in the past with
Fred Davis and Reed.
You never saw it. That's what my next point is. We had the opportunity under Jay with Fred Davis and Reed, and we never saw them on the field at the same time. A dual tight end threat is unstoppable. And if we had that potency in our offense,
we didn't see that on the field. Yeah. We
never saw it.
Vernon Davis and Jordan Reed
never saw it. Never saw it.
I think two tight, especially in a league that's so predicated on the one back offense. Yep. You got to go 12 personnel
because a middle linebacker cannot cover a dynamic, athletic tight end. It's just it can't be done without.
You can't cover two of them. He may get one. Can't cover.
We can't cover any tight ends.
Yeah. No, we cannot. We cannot cover any tight ends to save our lives.
Changing coaching, it doesn't matter. We still can't cover tight ends. I will say this though. I think we're downplaying a little bit John Bates' blocking. I mean, yes, he's good. Yeah, I mean, he got an 87.6 run blocking grade from PFF, which ranked first, not just among rookie tight ends, but among tight ends overall in the league. So, I mean, he's a great blocker. So, I feel like if you trot John Bates out there on the field alongside Cole Turner to start the season, you get your receiving, you get your blocking. I mean, it could work. It could work. Two tight end sets.
I was hoping they would do that anyway. Whether it be Logan Thomas, whether it be Cole Turner. And I don't care what combination you use, but you have talent there.
The good thing is about Bates is that he can catch. In the past, when you have a guy who's good at blocking, he's just in there for blocking, like a decoy. Remember, like Logan Paulson, he was just in there to block. And the stone hands, don't throw it to stone hands. The one time you throw it to the blocking tight end, like Logan Paulson, RG3 with Logan Paulson, he'd be wide open because no one's covering him. But if Bates can catch, so like you said, if they're both on the field, look out. What do you do?
Yeah. All right, is there going to be any Curtis Hodges love potentially tonight? I mean, do you think he's going to be more than just the bottom of the roster guy, or maybe someone who doesn't even make the roster and could actually give us some good
I feel
production?
Bad for Hodges because I think that he, on a lot of other teams, he'd be really pushing somebody for playing time. On this team, with where we are at tight end, I don't know if he's going to have to do a lot because there is a lot of known potential in front of him at tight end.
What if the season starts and Thomas is on pup at the roster spot? I don't know if Seamus Reyes is going to make the team, but I do feel like he may be a practice squad guy. So why couldn't you keep Hodges as one of those preferred practice squad guys that you don't let get cut?
You could make him your third tight end. So remember, they're still using the COVID rules. Practice squad, 16 players, and of those 16, 6 technically veterans, people more than 2 seasons, and you can protect 4 players every week from being signed by other teams. So there's so much flexibility in there. Tight end is a position where I feel you have to focus that. You got to flex the muscle of that flexibility of those roster spots for tight end. Like you have to do that. That and maybe wide receiver too, because you're a little thick at both of those positions. So yeah, you can protect Reyes now, though I don't think other people would jump in to sign him. But if you throw Hodges on there and he pans out to be as good as people think it is, they probably will protect him every week.
Right. I think that's a possibility, man. That
It's a good problem to have.
especially if he plays any kind of specials. If he's on any kind of coverage team, I think that's that Hodges could find his way. Maybe not on the original 52, but he definitely can make the start, and he might see him in and off the roster throughout the season. I could see that happening.
Maybe one day we'll be talking about, man, we have too many good linebackers. We got to stash them on the practice squad. When's the last time we heard that?
Change Ray as the linebacker. Hell.
Use the athletic traits.
1991.
I read a tweet somewhere, or maybe someone called into the radio. I don't know if it was Sheehan or it was the Junkies. I don't know. I get it too blended in the morning. But someone said, man, they should move Chase to middle linebacker. Let him eat. I was like, are you serious? The dude was bred and born on the team.
He would be the best middle linebacker on our team if they did that.
Chase Young?
Middle linebackers have
am I
coverage.
Am I lying, though? That's how bad our middle linebackers are. Chase Young, if they move in the middle linebacker today, he will be better. He would be our best middle linebacker.
Better than Cole Holcomb.
Yeah, for sure.
Instantly.
For sure, man.
In Madden, you put him at, you move him from defensive end to middle linebacker Madden, he goes from like a 89 to like an 87.
Still, but Cole's what a 73?
Probably.
Dev doesn't know yet because he's too busy seeing how good Cam Sims is at safety.
That's right.
Yeah.
Cam Sims is safety.
Yeah.
Now that's some inside baseball for the people who have been following this podcast. Y'all know what we're talking about.
But I'm saying though,
Sims is safety.
But I'm saying Parsons plays defensive end and middle linebacker. He basically doesn't do anything at middle linebacker except rush the quarterback. That's all he does. You mean tell me Chase Young can't play middle linebacker, just run after the quarterback?
He could do that.
Right. I'm just saying.
I don't think Jack Del Rio has the defensive prowess to program that into his game planning. That's just me personally.
Yes, he does. He just don't believe in those things.
I don't think he does.
I don't understand the need to have Jack Del Rio anyways whenever Ron Rivera is a defensive coach. I've never understood it.
Because you don't. First of all, Del Rio has been a head coach in this league and not a bad one either.
Yeah, I like Del Rio.
And at the same time, I mean, you don't want your head coach also being your defensive coordinator. Very rarely does the whole dual coach and coordinator thing work out.
Watch what's great.
It really doesn't.
Even Belichick has had his own DCs.
New England don't even have an offensive coordinator.
It only works on offense, though.
That's crazy, right? Like, there's no offensive coordinator on the New England Patriots. They got all the defensive coaches.
I mean, but they just had one though, Josh McDaniel.
They don't have one this year. They got the defensive coaches are calling the plays. Insane. See how it works.
McDaniel went out to Raiders.
Yep.
The Raiders are either going to win no games or every one of them. That's how it's going to go.
That division, woo!
Right?
Toughest in football.
Yeah. Watch them win all their games and then blow it in the divisional round.
Right.
What up, Rod?
Carger get paid this year, buddy. You're gonna get paid.
I do. 48 minutes into our stream, I do want to shout out everybody that joined the chat. LF, Stevie O, Patrick West, Trapper Dive, ProTech, Drunk, Roger Smith. Appreciate you all for joining the live stream tonight. This has been a great one. And we talked about the tight ends, talked about the receivers, obviously talked about the Juan Soto situation. What about the quarterbacks? I mean, Carson Wentz, first offseason in DC, his training camp performance has been uneven, to say the least. There was a period of time where he had like pick after pick, or I think it was like, what was it, like 3 out of 4 plays or something like that. And to Heineke still here, Sam Howell has done some good things. What are your guys' thoughts on the quarterback room as is, and should we make too much out of Carson Wentz's struggles thus far? And we can start with Phil on this one.
All right. So shout out to our good friend of the pod, Anthony Armstrong, for wide receiver for the Washington Redskins, now Commanders.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that he brought up the first time we ever talked to him is the fact that training camp is geared for the defense. All right. Training camp, the defense is always a step ahead of the offense in training camp. You should be more worried when it's the opposite. If the offense is torching the defense, be scared, because the defense knows what's coming in training camp. So that's why I'm not putting too much stock into all this talk about Carson Wentz through. Who's keeping? We're talking about training camp. If you're really keeping stats, he went 12 of 14 for 119 yards. No, don't be doing that in training camp. You'll drive yourself nuts. Now, our media will do that.
Hold on, Phil. First of all, Taylor, man, you can't come on here with your chest out, bro.
Making us all look bad.
Right.
Shout out to you.
Well, that's sure as hell ain't Taylor Heineke.
Right, dude. You can't come on here. Inflate your chest. Make tricks. Crazy.
Any given Sunday references 2 weeks in a row. But no, I'm not putting much stock into, that. Just as like I'm not putting any stock in Nikki Javala putting up pictures of, this is the turnout for training camp. Totally ignoring the fact they had a lottery system for training camp. They're not letting a lot
terrible
of people
system.
in. It's a terrible system, but it's designed to limit the number of people that are going to be there in the first place.
Like the
So look, I know people say that, people in our media are like, we don't have anything out for this team. No, you don't have anything out for the team, but whenever you can take a shot to get clicks and views and likes and attention, you're going to do it. All right? Because that's what our media is anymore. It's all clickbait. And we understand that. That's why I just don't put any stock into it. Now when real news happens and real games are being played and real pads are being worn and impact is happening on the field, then I start paying more attention to those things like that. But right now, look, if Carson Wentz can throw 60 million interceptions in training camp, I don't care. Get it all out your system now. Just don't do it during the regular season.
Fair take. Steve or Dev, you disagree with that?
No, I'm with it. I mean, I think Carson Wentz is severely getting dogged by everyone, including national media. He's not a bad quarterback at all by any means. I think Ryan Kerrigan, shout out to Ryan Kerrigan, my backdrop.
Yes, sir.
Coach Carrington.
Hopefully Coach Kerrigan, we'll see. He wasn't a Panther, so I don't know.
He's being given an opportunity, actually.
Speaking of Kerrigan, not to change the subject, did I ever tell you guys that time I got in a freestyle battle with what's her face? Not Nancy Kerrigan, with the one that hit her in the legs.
Tanya Harding.
Tanya Harding. I put it on everything, man.
That is the most obscure tangent jump from topics.
It's on VHS tape because one of the big cameras. I'm trying to find my homeboy.
You need to convert that to digital media now.
It's the most hilarious thing.
No, Dev, you don't go to work. GM don't need to make any more Corvettes until you find that tape and you put that into digital video format.
I'm gonna ask around. We have
upload it onto
YouTube.
This
development label, man. It's me and a couple other guys.
Man.
We had this show. And it was like at a country bar. First of all, man, I was like 8 shades darker than everybody in there, by the way. It was weird. But it's like, we have a guest today, and it was like, literally, it was her. Tanya Harding. It was her, man. And then, like, we was outside just freestyling, drinking, smoking, everything. She came outside and actually freestyled with us for like 5 seconds. And then laughed and then walked off. We got it on tape.
She dropped a bar about capping people in the knee.
Hey, man. She did not look like
getting back to Carson Wentz.
Yes.
Last year he wasn't surrounded with a whole lot of talent outside of Michael Pittman and Jonathan Taylor. Himes is a good, he's okay running back. He's okay. The tight end, what's his name? He had two okay tight ends in Ali Cox and I think Jack Doyle was the other one, but the talent is not the same as what we have on this team this year. And he threw for 27. What up, Corey? Friend of our show too as well. Good to see everyone traversing the different content creators.
Sir.
He threw 27 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. I mean, the bar is so low in Washington, we would kill for that. 3,500 yards. If Taylor performed at that level, I think we would have won at least maybe 2 more games. So Carson's not a bad quarterback. He can put the ball downfield. I hope the offensive line is not healthy, but can gel enough because they're a new unit, to keep him upright. Carson's potential is, we've seen him at his best, and he tore us up plenty of times here in Washington.
Carson had the best offensive weapon in the NFL in the backfield and had a top 10 scoring defense as well last season, and only got them 9 wins after the previous season getting 11 wins with a about to retire 39-year-old. We talk about Noodle Arm with Taylor Heineke. Noodle Arm, Phillip Rivers. They got to 11-5. He was supposed to be the difference. Not only was he not the difference, they regressed by 2 wins.
Phillip Rivers had a few better receiving targets than him too.
Who?
Didn't he have
in 2020?
No, wasn't his receivers not injured though? Wasn't Wentz's receivers injured? They drafted a guy, Pittman. They drafted him, but the other guy was injured.
Rookie. Pittman was a rookie. Taylor was a rookie in 2020, and they still won 11 games.
No, I'm talking about like that team versus this team. That like I guess the Pittman team. Yeah, I think that Pittman was a rookie last year, right?
Second-year player.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. My point does not matter. I was definitely wrong.
I mean, in 2020, Ty played 15 games. Zach Pascal played 16 games. Michael Pittman only played 13 games, so they didn't have a crazy wide receiver set.
Yeah, what's the other guy? He got the dreads. What was his name?
Ty.
Yeah, he didn't play last year hardly.
No, he played like 10 games last year.
Right. That's what I thought. Like a bunch of guys got hurt. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, good luck, Matt Ryan. I don't know much better he's going to do.
Hot take. I think the Colts are making the playoffs with Matt Ryan this year. I think they're better this year than they were last year because of the Matt Ryan versus
really.
Carson Wentz.
So you must not be that high on Carson Wentz then.
No. Steve. Oh, you not want me to get into my soapbox on Carson Wentz on this channel right now.
Do it.
I think all the off the field stuff is overblown. I think this is just fresh because I just had a video on this. All the off the field stuff is overblown. I think just people honestly. Like, I'm just going to put this out there. Maybe just people can't handle how Christian or how devout he is in his religion and stuff. I feel like that has a lot to do with
they couldn't handle Jesus either.
That's true. That is true. In terms of on the field, again, I just sort of relayed a little bit of my concern there. His team was pretty much, I wouldn't say stacked, but his team was ready to win last season. And they not only got to a place where they won the same amount of games as the previous year, but they won 2 less games with the NFL's best offensive weapon in the backfield. The Colts didn't ask Carson Wentz to do too much last year. They had Frank Reich. Everything was set up really well for them. And when the Jaguars came, when the Raiders game came towards the end of the season, the first real opportunity for Carson Wentz to carry that team on his back and actually be the guy for that team, he wet the bed, and everybody loves to say, oh, Jonathan Taylor didn't do well in those games. Oh, the Colts defense didn't do well in those games. Well, they did really well in the games leading up to that point and really masked a lot of Carson Wentz's deficiencies up until that point, and they won games despite him. And when it came to Carson Wentz actually, again, having to be the guy to carry his team to wins, that didn't work. And all I'm saying is I want what Carson Wentz did in the middle part of last season to be replicated, obviously, right? He put up a bunch of touchdowns. They did win some games, but I mean, what in the last 2 seasons really shows us that he's going to get us to more than 9 wins this season? I don't know. I know we have talent, but we already hear about Curtis Samuel.
Can I counter that argument?
I'll tell you what, though, before you do it, Phil, Maddie hates Wentz as much as you love Stafford, bro. This is exciting.
I don't hate Wentz. I just think he's going to get us to 9 wins. And
you hate
9 wins in a playoff. How? No, I'm just.
You hate him.
If I hated Wentz, I would say he'd get us to the same place we were at last season.
First of all, we haven't had a over 500 season in this town since 2016. And if you listen to Steve, it's actually 2015 because we're still pissed off at that tie against the Bengals in 2016. Now, but nonetheless,
London.
Here's the thing. We got to 7 wins 2 seasons in a row with the most motley crew of just below average garbage men quarterbacks you could assemble. We got to 7 wins with those.
And the hardest schedule in the league.
Carson Wentz is the top 10 quarterback in the league. I'm not dishonest. But when I look at the fact that you had the number 40 and 45 and 50th quarterbacks out there constantly being trotted out, and you get the 7 wins with those, now you're going to come in with a guy who you could put in that middle tier in that 14 to 18 range, depending upon what standards you use. How many more wins are you going to get just off of that? That's a huge jump in talent. Now, granted, he's not Aaron Rodgers. He's not even Carson Wentz of 2017. I don't need that.
A lot of fans think that's where we're going to get out of.
Man,
keeping a buck.
Carson Daly.
Everyone wants him to fail because either they're a Heineke rider, which is the most ignorant thing ever, or they just want us to tank because they think that somehow every team that's ever tanked has ended up becoming great, and that's empirically false. So yeah, I mean, there you go, Taylor West, right there. My dude with the 12-pack says it. Ron won 7 games with Heineke. All right.
Yeah.
Heineke can't get the ball down.
We can't.
Whenever I make an argument about Heineke can't get the ball downfield, they show me 2 passes. And it's the same 2 passes every time. And both of them, he put his entire soul into them. And I'm talking about he is just heaving it for his absolute life. He is making deals with the devil while he's back there, just desperately heaving these 2 passes up.
And Taylor West can't help. Taylor
like
Heineke can't help it.
Sleep. And
Taylor
that's
Heineke
the
can't help it.
difference.
He ain't got Taylor West abs, man, and throw the ball, 100 yards down the field, man.
Heineke can't throw the ball 100 yards in his own dreams.
I don't know.
He has to go.
Can I rebut?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
What do you think they're gonna do with Heineke? Like, what do you think they're gonna do? Heineke, I'm sorry. What do you think? Like, what does Wentz have to do to not get cut? Because this has to be the year for it, right? I think Wentz has to be outstanding, not just good. Because I think he could Alex Smith him his way to 9 wins, like you were saying. I think that could happen, but I don't think that's enough. Like, because
9 wins in a playoff spot, I think that's enough.
I tell you why. I mean, if he's the reason you got 9 wins, it is. If he's just a part of a team like Jimmy Garoppolo is, or Dilfer when they won. If he's like just part of the team, next year there's like 7 quarterbacks going probably in the top 20. Like, and he's not guaranteed the rest of his contract after this year. I think unless this guy comes out and is an all-star. I mean, a legit one too, not one that gets a go because the real all-star made the Super Bowl.
How many quarterbacks?
If he's a legit all-star, I think he stays.
How many quarterbacks went in the 2021 draft in the top 20?
Yeah, but those guys next year's when they all coming, bro.
Answer my question. Not 2022, 2021. How many quarterbacks went in the top 20?
2020?
2021.
2021. That
3.
was
Lawrence,
Trevor Lawrence, Zach
Fields,
Wilson.
Right?
Yeah.
Out of all of those, Mac Jones had the best season.
Out of the Mills,
and he's a dad bod motherfucker.
Mills had the best season.
You're gonna sit here and I hate this concept of, there's a bunch of quarterbacks coming out next year. Yeah, everybody thought that going into the 2021 draft, and guess what? I told y'all Trevor Lawrence was not who you thought he was. He's not.
Hold on.
Say that after one season.
Imagine saying that after.
I told y'all he's crazy.
I
told y'all feels crazy. He likes to make Snap as a top 5 quarterback. I told you.
Trevor Lawrence ain't it. Justin Fields definitely ain't it.
Trevor Lawrence had a worse
already
year.
Ruined beyond repair. Matt Jones is up here winning games because he only has to throw the ball 3 times a game.
Look at his coach.
Buffalo?
Look at his coach.
Mills is the best one.
Who else got drafted?
Mills.
Yeah, I like Davis Mills going into
Davis Mills was the best one, man.
Davis Mills got a neck like Merton Hanks. You can't be a star quarterback.
But he was good.
Like that.
Yeah, he was good.
He showed some good things last season.
I think he got hurt in college. That's why he went low too.
He's in Houston.
Yeah.
What about that?
He's got no talent around him.
Exactly. And he showed some good things last season.
None of these guys that got drafted in the first round talent around him.
He showed some good things last year too.
No, more good things than
got us.
Okay, but
we gotta stop this thing of wait till next year. It's always wait till next year. Oh, we gotta draft this quarterback because one of these we'll get it right. We don't get it right.
That's kind of what you're supposed to do. You keep drafting until you get it right. That's what the good teams do, bro.
You should.
We need look right now.
You tell me
right now you have
if we win 6 games
that you can actually win some games with. look, I had my hands up like this for a reason, all right? Because that's the number of wins that I think we are shooting for this season.
Alex Smith went 10-5,
well,
bro.
shooting. Well, hold on, Phil. Shooting
Alex
for
Smith
versus actually getting to are two different
It don't.
scenarios.
You shoot
Two
what
different
you
things.
can get in this league, and whatever else you
I don't
get
think.
beyond
I don't
that
think
is
we're
a
getting
bonus.
to.
Alex Smith won 10-5, bro. You would take an Alex Smith 10-5 games and not worry about quarterback next year. If he has an Alex Smith,
if
he has an Alex Smith
stumbled
10-5
into 11 wins.
Let's say Wentz goes to Alex Smith 10-5 or whatever the equal is to that for 17 games.
Alex Smith had a deal with God to get to 11-5.
If he comes in,
by the way, it just so happened to be the two best defensive seasons we've had in the past 10 years. And
all right,
I'm sorry, since we
talk
haven't
about
had defensive seasons.
But if we have the same kind of
like
year,
the two that Alex Smith played with since Gibbs' second tenure here.
If we have the same kind of year, though, do you keep Wentz? Is what I'm asking. Like, does he have to be way better than that, or is just enough to not lose? Enough. That's what I'm asking.
Wentz can win you games. He can lose you games too.
Man.
But
lose you a lot more than win.
No,
about equal.
His win-loss record says differently. So he's won a lot of games, and he didn't have a lot of the offensive talent that we've got. You know, who was he throwing the ball to? Nelson Aguilar.
I mean, you know, but Dev,
last season
on the Eagles. But Dev, to answer your question, so if Carson stays again for 2023, it's $26 million,
right?
Which for a starting quarterback, franchise quarterback, is
not
a
bad
bargain.
It is, but this is what the part I'm trying to tell you. You don't have to even do that because he's unguaranteed, and you got a younger guy named Harold, and you got, and the next year is going to be even at the bottom of the first round. You're going to have a.
What I'm saying is, why would they even spend it on another draft pick when Sam Howell was arguably first round talent that slipped to the third? I just don't see why they wouldn't just go with Sam Howell.
I think to the fifth.
I think if they miss the playoffs, unless the defense is like horrific, which I think is going to be. I think the defense is going to be fucking. Excuse my language. It's going to be trash, bro. I think the defense is going to be trash, bro. Honestly,
and guess what? See that? Okay. Back to originally, like what I was going to say for my counter, right? Dev just brought up a good point. Okay. So last year, everybody loves to talk about how we had a lot of COVID that we had to deal with, a lot of injuries. We still got to 7 wins with Taylor Heineke. In my opinion, this is where my, I guess some of my, you guys think hate, but some of my criticism of Carson Wentz comes from. Carson Wentz last season, in my opinion, had a better situation on the Colts when you account for offense and defense than Taylor Heineke had in DC. And he still only got his team to 9 wins. That's like my take, right? Like, even with all their injuries and all their COVID, with the way the running game was going, with the way, again, their defense was a top 10 scoring defense, whether we like to admit it or not, and he still only got that team to 9 wins, right? And Taylor Heineke, the same guy that everybody loves to roast, me included, right, with his noodle arm, got us to 7 wins last season, right? Like, I guess that's like part of the reason why I'm not super optimistic in terms of the wins that Carson Wentz can bring here. He can bring up a lot of stats. He can bring up. Yeah.
He can bring you more wins than
the only reason I'm not with
exactly 2 more wins.
The only reason I'm not with you on that is because I feel like
and
the division that he's in now is going to be way worse than the division he was in. Number one. I also think he has less. I think
our schedule. Okay, he stepped in and played a pretty tough schedule. We had a tough schedule, but they had a tough schedule too. They were a playoff team the year before as well. All right, so it wasn't like they were losing to a lot of cupcake teams, except for the Jaguars game where the entire team took a big dump.
But that's when he was supposed to rise to the moment. The one moment in the season when he was supposed to rise above his team, and he didn't do that. Like that. That's my point. You can't blame
Wentz for a 500-yard passing game from a dude who didn't even throw over 200 the entire year to that game. Like, let's keep it real. Lawrence was the worst quarterback in the NFL last year, man. Like, I mean, He was the
I've
worst,
seen,
man.
I've seen advanced metrics
Man,
that state
he's the
otherwise.
Worst.
I've seen advanced metrics that state otherwise. On the surface, when you look at stats, yes, but when you look at breakdown, play by play, advanced metrics, it does not state that.
You give me advanced metrics, and advanced metrics of $4 will get you a gallon of gas. Okay. Well, advanced metrics only go so far, right? Advanced metrics tell you that that dude Stokely, whatever is the coach in San Diego, all right, is the greatest genius of all time because he lived off of metrics. Did San Diego make the playoffs? No, so you can't pull all your stock in advanced metrics, all right? Some of it is his eye test.
I think he could come here and just if he has his normal 3,500, 25 touchdowns, 10 or so interceptions, I think he can Kirk Cousins his way into about 9 or 10 wins, bro.
If you're
whoa, how many times did we ever have 9 or 10 wins here in DC with Kirk Cousins?
Well, Kirk didn't have this team either. Kirk gets you 9 or 10 wins now.
Wait, what do you mean this team?
He gets you everybody 9 or 10 wins now.
Hold on,
everybody let's just say this team
legendary. Problem is 2016 defense with it.
No. But Phil, okay, everybody loves to say, "Oh, this team is different because of the fact that we have a more talented defense." What did that talent give us last year? We were one of the worst defenses in the league statistically.
We're trash. And we got worse.
Here's the thing. We stumbled across the recipe when Chase Young got hurt, and then let me explain.
We won like one game after we won like
no, that's
when
we went on a run because he got hurt in the Tampa Bay game. We won 3 games after that in a row. And we won the Tampa Bay game that he got hurt in, and then we won the game against the Raiders. We won against the Seahawks, and we won against
Still living off that 2020 and Tampa Bay game.
I don't know. Hold on. I don't know. Taylor Heineke's been living off of Tampa Bay games. Now, the thing is that do I think we can be 2020 good again? Maybe not that good, only because I think that the league is now aware that the defense has a certain level of talent. I don't think the league fully.
Also, Chase Young was a big reason for why 2020 was 2020 , if we're going to be honest, right?
Yeah. Just because
and everybody wants to say Chase Young regressed last year. When he got hurt, he was the second best edge player against the run in the entire league. All right. That's statistically been shown. That was his PFF rating against the run was astronomical.
Advanced metrics now. Advanced metrics.
A lot of pressures, but you know what? There's 2 aspects to an offense: running and passing. All right. So you know what? He teams are, and he also led the league in double and triple teams that he was drawing. All right. So, but Chase Young drawing that attention. But after that, we had a more aggressive defense. That's when we moved Landon up to play Buffalo nickel. God, I hate that term. But we moved him up to that hybrid position. All right. Hero back, Buffalo nickel, whatever you want to call it. Right. And then when everybody else started getting hurt, getting COVID, now you're just trying to put guys in like Milo Eifler to start at linebacker. All right. First of all, nobody ever in the history of the NFL has been successful with the name Milo. Now, you look at this and you look at where things went well is when the defense got more creative and more aggressive because Chase Young wasn't there. Now, if Jack Del Rio is smart, and then he had to go back to a vanilla defense because you had guys who you couldn't do those aggressive things with just because of the lack of talent because you're bringing in third stringers at this point. Now, if Jack's smart, he runs that more aggressive scheme that he ran during that 4-win streak with Chase Young in there, you've got something.
He's got to be aggressive.
You got no linebackers on the cover and touchdown the other team.
We had the same linebackers last year.
And they were the worst in the league last year.
During that 4-game
we got less than we had last year. We got Landon Collins.
Blitzing more. We're being more exotic with the stunts.
Man. But Phil, 4-game stretch. But what about 13 games outside of that?
It's right? Because Jack Del Rio is not a good. He's not a great defensive coach. Those guys,
too much on talent and not enough on being inventive with the scheme.
They're gonna blame Jack Del Rio for the defense being trash, but Jack Del Rio was there when we were number 2 or 3 in the league too.
Because it was running off of sheer athleticism and talent. Jack Del Rio had to coach nothing. You could have put me out there.
Same guys were there last year.
No, because the league picks up. The league learns. So now they know Chase Young's strengths. So what do you have to do? You have to adjust. It's a cat and mouse game. It's the coach's job to put the players in position to be successful. And Jack Del Rio did not do that once the league picked up to what Daron Payne, Jonathan Allen, Montez Sweat and
I would-
and
I
Chase were
agree to
doing
a
it.
certain
For a
point.
team-
He
for a
was-
team
he was
that, like,
a little late to adjust, but he did adjust until everybody started going out with injury and COVID, and then by
That
then
hurt
it's
us.
too late. And
Well,
that's where we fell apart at the end of the season, and losing 44 to whatever to Dallas.
Biz, we all know
And-
that. Why the F didn't they draft defensive players this year then? Why would you take another receiver?
Because maybe Del
You know,
Rio
and I love
is
Dotson.
trying to
I
be a
love
little more
Dotson.
aggressive. Maybe that's why we're getting all these picks
I
in
love-
practice.
The talent
Maybe
is
it's
on.
not Wentz sucking.
love
Maybe our
Dotson, bro.
defense is
Technically, we
stepping
got
up.
Mathis.
I love
Technically, we got
Dotson.
Mathis.
There's
Right.
And we
plenty
got the kid plays safety, who Chris
Right.
Sims,
Percy.
Percy Butler.
Percy
got-
Butler.
Who's
Chris
playing behind?
Sims
Who's playing
is the
behind
best
Forrest?
pure
Who didn't get
safety
on
in
the
the
field
draft.
last year?
When you look at the talent levels between offense and defense,
George
Dev,
has a
it's
6th round.
way lopsided on defense before the draft. Now it's a little bit more level. Post
Level?
it's closer to level.
There's no one in
defense-
the middle of the
The
defense. man.
defense still has, the defense was way more talent laden than the offense was last. Outside of Terry, who do we have on offense? Worth a damn. You had some Jags, you had some
Gibson.
guys. that were
Everybody was
okay.
hurt.
Gibson,
They had an
Gibson
all-pro-
last year.
They had an
Gibson.
all-pro guard, a third down back that caught 80 balls, a tight end that caught 80 balls. They had
The
talent.
defense had six
Defense,
first round
all
picks
their
on
guys
it.
were there, dog, and they were terrible.
6 first
All
round
their
picks on
guys were
defense.
there.
You
while they
also
were
had
terrible.
Taylor Heineke at quarterback.
Right. That's what I'm trying to say. The offense, you can find reasons why they were bad. They had a lot of injuries, a lot of crazy stuff went on. Defense, most of the time, they were all there. And they were terrible, man.
No,
So-
Montez went down for the year. Chase went down.
Montez
for the
went
year.
down because his brother got killed. He left the last 3 or 4 games of the year. Mostly he played, though. You know what I'm saying? Like they were.
For the last 3 or 4
they were
games of the
already
year,
sorry before he went
fell
out.
apart, too. We had no Montez and no Chase.
They were already sorry before they went out, though. It ain't like they just were sorry from the time they went out. They were sorry before. We were in the bottom of the league on defense when they were all there, man.
I think no. Well, no.
We still gonna
Depends
try.
on what stat you look at. We actually
Holcomb been on
we still
teams
have one
3
of
or
the
4
best run
years.
defenses in the league.
Ain't
on
never
pass
been good enough to
defense
play Mike.
because
All
we
of a
were
sudden
playing
he's good enough to
zone
play
all the
Mike.
time. We have corners that are designed to play man, and we keep running zone. That's a Jack Del Rio thing, and I will hold him to that. Now they started playing more man, got more aggressive on defense. You won 4 games in a row, mainly predicated on the performance of the defense. Because hey, what was it? 2 or 3 of those games we were under 20.
Someone to take the pressure off Taylor West. That's it. That's what it is.
We're gonna
It's
score 40 a game.
And a
bro.
quarterback who can get the ball down the field to both of them.
and
We
I want to
might
go back
score
to
40 a
to a point. You have the number 1 rushing offense in the NFL. How much more can a quarterback do? Like I would love to break down the metrics and statistics of finding the number 1 rushers every year and seeing how much their quarterbacks produced to counter that. And I would be interested to see if it kind of balanced out the way Carson's numbers balanced out last year. I don't know the answer to that because I haven't looked it up. But if you're rushing for 2,000 yards by one person or damn near 2,000 yards, 1,800 and 18 touchdowns, the passing attack's probably going to be a little bit low, like you said, Nazi. Like you don't have to do much. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
you
if you haven't been,
should
and
have-
if you haven't had to
He
do
put up the
much,
stats. I
Yeah.
agree, Steve. He put up the stats. Stats is not like I'm not faulting him for the stats that he put up, like the 3,500 yards.
you're talking about
Some-
you
I'm talking
need to
about-
perform when you have
Wentz
to.
had his
Exactly.
lowest
Exactly.
yards per game last season because they ran the ball so much.
Yeah.
209.6. All right. That is almost 10 yards lower
You know what?
than any of his time in Philly.
If Gibson and old Robinson do that, I'd be happy with that. And Carson can do exactly
Gotta
what he
not
does:
fumble first.
3,300 yards, 25 touchdowns, and 7 picks. I'll take it. I'd take it,
Gibson don't fumble.
I'm a
You
big
do it.
believer in Robinson. I don't know if you guys are
Yeah.
too, but
dude.
I
His
think
legs,
the kid
his
can
legs
be
are
good.
big as my head.
Very good.
facts.
Amazing.
Who's the guy you're most anxious to see play, Natty?
Most anxious?
Right,
Dotson.
who's the guy you can't wait to
Dotson.
preseason?
I
I know
want
you're gonna
Dotson.
say Hal, though. I know you're gonna
Most
say
ex-
Hal.
I mean, the guy that I'm most excited to see this season would probably be Dotson. Probably be Dotson.
Really, I don't think
Yeah.
he'll play a lot in preseason.
Oh, we're talking strictly preseason.
Yeah, preseason. Yeah. I don't think he'll play a lot. Yeah.
I would say.
Don't say Hal.
preseason-
That's too easy.
No, I'm not. I'll say Robinson. I'm telling you, I'm high on Robinson. I
In
want to see.
preseason, yeah, I want to see Robinson. I want to see if his
Yeah.
game translates to the pro level
I want to see.
as a power back.
I want to see our safety man, the guy we drafted to play.
Cole
Hero-
Turner for
hero
me.
back.
Metaphor, yeah, metaphor.
Give me Cole
Jahan
Turner all
Solo.
day.
Yo,
Jahan Solo.
Jahan Solo. I like that one.
Sure.
I just think that between the schedule we have, the improvements we've made, this is a team that can win 10 games. And realistically, Dallas has regressed, especially on offense. I'm not sold on Philly because their QB situation is absolute garbage.
Okay, another hot take. Their QB situation is better than ours. That's another hot take.
Jalen Hurts?
No, I don't think so.
Well, if you look at most QB, that's not a crazy opinion. If you look at most QB rankings online, I'm not saying these sources are the God's truth. I'm just saying if you look up most QB rankings, they'll put Hurts over Wentz. I
think it's because they know exactly. I think they know what they have in Jalen Hurts, and they know how to use it effectively. He is not a 4,500-yard guy a year.
Except for the fact that as the season went on last year, he was found out. Teams found him out. All right.
He's very regular.
Teams will continue to find him out. I'm telling you, and he's going to eventually have to throw the ball, and that's where his weakness is. All right. His weakness is throwing the ball. So I'm not sold. Now, if he's made progression, that's a totally different story, but I'm not sold.
I think Hurts was a way better quarterback than he was his rookie year. Mm-hmm. And if you go back and look, Hurts was a way better quarterback at Oklahoma than he was at Alabama. If you look at, I took a communications class in college, man. I forgot what they call that. Is where you keep getting better. It's a reputation. Like coaches look at that. This guy keeps making the changes to get better every year. I think Hurts is okay, man. I think Hurts is okay. I think his job is to play controlled offense. Don't put the ball in the other team's hands, and the defense will take care of the rest. I think that's the formula. I think that should be our formula, honestly.
I hated that they said that Lamar Jackson was a running back at quarterback. All right, I hated that because I thought Lamar Jackson could throw the ball.
Lamar's arm talent. I don't know.
Jalen Hurts is anywhere near as talented with his arm as Lamar Jackson, and I don't think
or his legs.
He's not. He's like a great value version of. You know, I mean, he's like a suave version of.
He's like equate. He is right. He's like Lamar Jackson. You know, he's not equal. He's just equate. Right. But people think because hey, the athletic quarterback, the dual threat quarterback is so popular in this league. Oh my God, he can run and he plays quarterback. He'll be great. No, I don't. He's not going to be Mahomes. He is not going to be Lamar Jackson. He is not going to be Josh Allen. He's not going to be anywhere near any of these things.
And all those guys are one of ones, and it's okay not to be those guys. Nobody's asking you to go out and be Josh Allen, bro.
Good enough to. You talk about Carson Wentz isn't good enough to elevate his team. Jalen Hurts is not good enough to elevate his team. If he can't run, he's done.
I don't think he's being asked to, though. I don't think he's being asked to. I think some people are asking Wentz to lead the team.
I mean,
I don't.
It's hard to say that after each time. Jalen Hurts, and I don't know how you guys say that. Yes, he's okay, but the dude has one full season of starting under his belt. How do we make all these assumptions after one full season of starting? The dude was 6-2 to end the season.
I like Jalen Hurts, man,
and he handed us our ass twice.
Somebody told us we got Jalen Hurts in the offseason.
That Hall of Famer Garrett Gilbert.
I mean, I wish our stands would have fell on him so we could have finally, disabled him fully out of FedEx Field, but we just missed him a little bit.
He did deliver us a playoff the year before that,
do what the defense did.
And I do hate, PFF is not the end all be all. This is one writer's opinion, and
shit, Steve went.
Quarterback. Oh no, tier D. Tier D, I don't know if you're going to flash or not. If you are, I'll just sit tight. But Tier D is prove it or lose it. Jameis Winston, Daniel Jones, Jalen Hurts, Tua, and Drew Lock. Tier E, let's not get our hopes up. Carson Wentz, Mariota, Trubisky, and Sam Darnold. I'm just like,
see, I believe Wentz should be in the Hurts category. I think they're in the same area, but also I'm the same guy who thinks Kirk Cousins and the rest of the same dude too. So
hold on.
Look the numbers up.
Who are you taking? You taking Kirk Cousins or Russell Wilson?
No. Say it right.
No.
Say it right, Natty. Take Kirk. Would you take? We're talking about Russ
right now, today.
Right now, it's the same dude. Look the numbers up. Same guy. I'm not joking. Look the numbers up, Natty.
Give me Russell Wilson 11 times out of 10.
Thank you, Steve.
Do it from 2019. That's when Sherman and the Legion of Doom disbanded. 2019 to right now. Same guy.
I'm taking Russ.
Look at the talent Kirk has had on offense, and he's still
got the same thing. Both of them got 2 Pro Bowl receivers. I mean, Jefferson, Thielen, Metcalf, and the other dude, man.
And the number 2, number 3 running back in the NFL.
Who
did Russell have? He had Tyler Lockett for a year.
Plays though.
Can we talk about the offensive line too? We talk about that.
I'll give you that, dog. I mean, I didn't say Kirk was better than Russ, bro. I'm saying just as productive. He's just as productive.
Russell Wilson is hand over fist way better than Kirk.
Man, I wouldn't say way better because men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. 2019 Russ to right now. That's taking out the Legion of Doom. He ain't done nothing. They got the same playoff wins. They got basically the same amount of wins. Kirk Cousins throws the ball better, got more yards. Y'all crazy, man. I'm not.
Because he has.
I know you got him up there. Show the stats,
top
man.
3 offensive weapons in the NFL. Thielen, Jefferson, and Dalvin Cook.
Half of them don't even play.
Oh.
No.
Compare them. They got a comparison site, man, where you can go and look at the numbers.
I've showed you these numbers before, Dev, and it still didn't convince you.
We've gone through this. This is one of the great all-time arguments.
2019 to right now, man. Kirk and Russ the same dude, bro.
Oh, you got Russ.
From 2019, Russ, not the Legion of Doom. It's not fair to count the Legion of Doom. Cousins didn't get to play during that era. Plus, y'all act like Kirk Cousins wouldn't have won a Super Bowl with the Legion of Doom, bro.
He wouldn't.
They're basically the Super Friends.
Kirk Cousins would have got down the field, and then once he got into the red zone,
threw interception just like Russ did against New England, just like Russ did. Did you do just like Russ did, wouldn't he? That's exactly what he did, right? Went down there at the end zone.
No, he probably got an interception way before that.
Just saying. Same dude. And how many playoff wins he won since the Legion of Doom? 1, just like Kirk. Just saying, man. Nobody likes Kirk. I get it.
I think the thing is, though, is that Kirk, believe it or not, has higher expectations because of his pure number production.
Kirk is white.
Vanilla Cousins. That's what we call him, Russ.
No way, dude. Kirk, Russ always gives you.
Kirk I love that it's always white guy there.
White Dak. Dak, Russ, Kirk, same dude, bro.
Okay, that's one thing I want to get talk to you guys about. Why do people keep comparing Kirk with Dak?
Same dude.
Obviously, no, listen. In terms of the playoff success, I agree with you. It's on the same level.
It's number success.
But are we going to talk about how Dak? No. Are we going to talk about how Dak has had multiple double-digit win seasons in the regular season?
Got one playoff win. Got one playoff win.
Okay, but at least he racks up.
So you don't think Minnesota Vikings will win the NFC East the last 3 years? Of course they would have. You crazy?
No.
You crazy? No. If them dudes all didn't get injured, like they would have won it. They would have won a division last year if all them dudes wasn't injured. Like,
are you talking about? Okay, hold on. Listen to his question carefully because he kind of phrased this one. He says, "Do you think the Vikings would have won the NFC East if they were in the East?"
Yeah.
Last season, no.
Shizzle.
You think the Dallas was?
But Dallas was terrible the last half.
Cowboys over the Vikings last season?
Man, the Cowboys
Vikings won 8 games
the last half of the year, bro.
The Vikings won 8 games last season.
We almost came back and beat them. Everybody can get COVID.
The Vikings won 8 games last season. The Vikings won one more game the last
Vikings
two
won
seasons.
Vikings won 8 games because they played Green Bay and a hard schedule.
Man.
They're saying Dallas wouldn't have made the playoffs in the division either.
You know why the comparison happens to Dak? It's because of Amari Cooper. All right? When he called Dak Black Cousins.
He's right, though.
Dak's face.
He's right, though. He's right. I mean, look, you could say all the little stuff. I know if you watch the film, I'm not an idiot. Russ is definitely better than Kirk. I'm not saying Kirk's better than him. But what I'm saying is since 2019 to now, Kirk's been an all-star as many times as this dude has, man. They the same dude. Look at the numbers, man. The same guy. They
look at the wins. They haven't won the same amount.
Man, I bet they have. Look it up. From 2019,
I'd like to share that if you can pump that in. Yeah. So this is the comparison between 2019 to present, just as Dev requested. Now the numbers, I will not lie, the numbers are eerily similar.
Same guy, man.
But I will tell you, Kirk had way more to throw to than Russell Wilson.
He had Calvin. What's his face? How How is he having a better receiver core than both Pro Bowlers, man? Every year.
Okay, you're trying to tell me DK and Tyler are as good or better than Jefferson and Thielen and Cook.
Better than both of
Seattle had 0 running backs. Seattle had 0 running backs. Okay,
Jefferson's better than both of those guys. But shoot, Metcalf and O'Du might be better than Thielen. I'm just saying, man.
No way.
I'm just saying that the numbers aren't that different all the way across.
Depends who you talk to.
Interceptions, wins, losses. What's the wins and losses since 2019?
I don't
That's
know.
what I want to see. It's going to be the same. They're the same dude.
Yeah. Meta, that's a good point. Yeah, we tend to do this, Meta. We go off topic quite a bit. Sorry about that.
I think what you're saying is that you're going to end up with the same results in the end in terms of your team's
same result.
Success. I think that's what Dev's getting at. When he says same dude, he's not saying that they had the same talent level, but that you're going to get the same results.
What I'm saying is, why would you pay one dude $40 million to do what a dude making $23 million can do? And that's what we look at Russ.
23,
we look at
23
Russ.
as in Carson?
I'm saying we look at Russ like if you take all the Legion of Doom guys off of it, he's done really nothing, bro. And I know you can't do that because he was on that team. But
hey, Dev, that comments for you, Dev.
He was the first. He was like the fourth option on that team, bro. My bad.
Bringing it back full circle to what we started with. But
it goes back to having talent around you. It kind of goes back when we talk about Carson Wentz. Is the talent level around him comparatively to 2021 as it is in 2022? I think it's better.
Kurt.
That's fair.
From a skill position only.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think our offensive line's pretty damn good too.
Yeah. To be determined with if it's
Trey. Our defense is worse than what
Trey. So Natty, Trey or Wes, who's getting the nod? At right.
At right. Trey.
You think Trey? I think Wes is going to get it. I think he's going to get it.
I think Trey gets cut.
Wes is a mean dude when he plays.
I think Trey gets cut because he's already got a growing. We already talked about soft tissue injuries. He's already got a growing. And I think they want to keep Sadiq Charles, man. And you have no reason to keep Sadiq Charles.
God.
You have no reason to keep Sadiq Charles if you have Turner. Why do you need Sadiq Charles on the team, man?
Oh my God!
First there was the Russ versus Kirk. Now
you just said keep Sadiq Charles.
No, I said I hope they don't, but I think the coaches want to keep
Mr. 3 plays and I tear my knee.
Man, I'm telling you, I got a feeling because why do you need Turner to be there as a backup?
Why not? You need offensive line depth. You need the depth.
But you're paying him like a starter, though.
No, Wes Schweitzer's making more money than Trey Turner. Trey Turner's making peanuts.
Never mind then.
Is it?
I take it back then. I ain't know that.
1 year, $3 million. I think it's 1 year, $3 million, right?
Yeah, all right. Yeah, Trey Turner's backing them up. Trey Turner.
That's what I think. I know Natty said Trey, but I think Wes is going to get the nod. Now, you have a good point. The Commanders vibe is strong with this team. We know it. Trey's a former Panther, but I just feel like it's Wes's time to shine. And
they love Wes. Wes is such a mean physical dude when he plays. Like he plays way above his pure talent level.
But
right, and that's what's great about him. Like him and Cosby are nasty when they play. All right, nobody realizes how nasty Cosby is because he's an athletic tackle, But Cosby's got a mean streak. And so does Wes. And being a lineman guy, I like linemen with a mean streak.
I just wonder, why you would.
I like the dudes who are just going to just they live to just beat on you. That's an offensive lineman. And I know you can tell when watching Wes Schweitzer, like you just see that look. Like I saw him in training camp. Like just he hits the blocking dummies. Like they said something about his mother. Like he just got that kind of just like about that. I will always cape for dudes like that.
I always just wonder why you would keep Turner though if he's not starting.
If I could have
he's an older guy,
I'd be really happy.
I mean, he's only 28.
He's on 28.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I believe you, man. Like he's like Keenan Allen, I guess. Been in the league 40 years and be 28, 30.
That's true.
He just turned 29.
I feel like he's been around forever.
Just turned 29.
So I'm saying you got a sub 30 lineman with like Sadiq Charles got to be cut then, right? We keep it four guards.
Yes.
Do you think they cut the dude after trading him?
Yes.
Trading for him. You know, basically,
Yes,
you traded Trent Williams for this dude. I hope they cut him. I'm in the hopeful side. I hope you lose your job, Sadiq Charles. Sorry. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry I said that out loud.
Cosby eats his Snickers with a knife and fork. What?
And on that note,
fine China, man. That's the kind of dude he is.
Yeah. On that note, guys,
a knife and fork off your mother's fine china.
I will
Cosby
say,
is not. People gotta get through their heads. Cosby is that dude. He is.
Yep, UT.
All right,
UT.
and
took them horns.
People. Here's the thing. All right, it's funny because you brought up the offensive line. This takes you back to the skill position players. Everybody talks about every time we have a decent line around here. What is the first thing you hear some of these linemen say? What do they refer to them as?
Hogs 2.0.
Hogs 2.0. All right. So we talking about we got all these midget receivers. Can we bring back Smurfs 2.0?
You gotta say little people, man. You try to get monetized here, bro.
They're called. That's what they were called.
You know what I'm saying? We used to play a game called Smear. You know what? But we also know that's not it either. You can't say these names now. You can't say
what Smurfs.
Smurfs still could be a derogatory statement for little people, bro.
You could argue that was the offensive line under Jay Gruden's offense. They were all 265, athletic, mobile, pulling linemen.
Dev, I think it was the other word.
Because they were running guys out there like licking struggle.
Yeah, the other word.
Lick my strudel.
The word starts with an M. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's just
Jerry Jones, Phil.
What?
You heard about Jerry Jones got in trouble for using the M word, man. He had to make an apology and everything. It's hilarious. Y'all didn't know that?
Jesus.
What was this?
It was like a couple of days ago, yeah.
Let me give you my surprised face.
Would y'all let Natty close this out, please?
Yeah, you're right, Meta.
I'm having a good time, Steve. I'm having a good time. This has been lively. But yeah, I didn't want to take too much more of your guys' time. I appreciate the opportunity to have you guys on the live stream tonight. This was a fun one, especially the last half hour. It was really fun. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Who?
We didn't talk about Watson. No, don't do it.
It's a whole episode on its own.
That is a whole episode. Maybe I'll have you guys on. I don't know, before the regular season or something like that. We could schedule it. And but this was really fun. Shout out to Taylor West, Roger Smith, Corey Lott, Potex Sports. I can't get to everybody. Drunk, Trapper Dive, Stevie O, LF, Patrick West, Pedro Smith, who also joined. Great content creator as well. Go make sure to check him out. But yeah, any last words, fellas, before we?
Yeah, man. Shout out to Taylor West, man. Hey, man, send me your supplement list. I need it. This dude out here showing his abs.
Yo, I need Taylor West to send me his recipe for those trenbolone sandwiches.
Hey, shout out to everyone in the stream and in the chat, man. Y'all continue to run it up, like and share this video, and make sure if you haven't already done, subscribe to DMVSportsZone, man. Natty, thank you for having us, man. This was a ball, a long time coming. Gotta do it again before the regular season for sure, and hopefully we can have you on our show too and return the favor. For sure, anytime. And I was just about to say, long time coming. We saw each other during OTAs, first time we got to meet, and great people on top of great content. Before we go, and people in the chat chime in real quick. Now, you going to be at the live practice on Saturday? Saturday, yes. You're going to be there. I'm going to be there. If you're in the chat, are you going to be there? If you are, just look for this massive dome. I would say look for Steve's too, but he's always got a bandana on no matter what. I do. That's what I do. Like he's ashamed that he's a no hairline dude like me. Look for Nate. Don't look for Dev because he'll be in Kentucky, hating the Wildcats. And everybody join. Be there August 6th. If you're gonna be there, come find us, all of us. It's gonna be a party.
Are y'all gonna stream live from there, Natty?
I might go live on Facebook or something, you know.
I don't know if they'll let us. Maybe a little vlog.
That's also a good point.
Oh, they better. We're gonna be the best advertising that team has.
Yeah.
I got $10. Y'all get me Julie Donaldson's number, man. I'm joking, Julie.
We got Julie Donaldson's number.
I know. I don't want
to. You don't. He does for good reason.
Yep.
They don't give it to the single guy.
Risking it all.
But with that being said, thank you guys so much for again joining, everybody in the chat for joining. This has been a fun one. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the DMV Sports Zone channel. We're like to post fire content like this, even on one of the worst days in DC sports history. Also, go follow our Instagram page, all lowercase DMV Sports Zone, our TikTok at DMV Sports Zone as well. And I'm just going to end off by saying Jahan Dotson for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Peace.